You're listening to It's Not a Show with Tara DeFrancisco and Rance Rizzuto. They're usually performers, but today they're just pals. And it's not a show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, thanks for joining us. We're so glad you're here. I'm Tara DeFrancisco.
I'm Rance Rizzuto. Hey, that little song was as close to a show as you'll get because it's not a show.
It's not a show. That's it. That's all you get from us. Look, we're normally performers like the intro says, but we're not performing today. We're just chatting. We're just hashing it out. We're getting to the debatables where we have three good issues to chat about.
And yeah, debatables. We've been calling them questions in previous episodes, and just today we were like, wait a minute. Some of these aren't questions. Some of them are, but some of them aren't. So we're just calling them debatables.
Yeah, and here's the idea about this little thing we're doing. Since Rance and I perform so much, we thought, we should take some fun time to just sit down and think about some queries, some debatables, and just chat it out. Do you like that, queries?
Queries.
Yeah, we can just talk some things out, think about how we feel about the things, share those opinions out loud, maybe get really steamed about the way we feel about them, laugh a lot, and then once we get all that stress out, we can handle going back into the real world where we're just happy as clams.
Yeah, that's the way it should be, being able to manage your emotions a little bit.
Yeah, manage them. And that's part of this time now, right? Is that sometimes a little healthy rage is just going to make you
Healthy
feel
rage is
healthy rage.
The best band name possibility that we've come up so far.
They only play at Whole Foods up on a very small stage. It's two people just strumming a uke up together at the same time.
The same one. One does the frets and one strums the uke.
Healthy rage.
Healthy rage. Hey Tara, this is a little bit behind the curtain maybe, but it's August now. It's August 2020.
Yeah.
Who can say when someone is going to listen to this thing? It's August 2020, and today was the first day in a long time where I felt comfortable outside doing something I love, and that thing is wearing jeans.
Okay, now look, I mean, this is Rance never knows the questions or the debatables I have for him pre any episode. I often we take, by the way, if you are just listening to this for the very first time, take debatables from our listeners that submit to us. And you can submit to us on our email address included in this little description. But if you want to submit a question, please do. We have over 250 questions to get to.
Yes.
In no specific order. And Rance never sees the questions before.
I never see them.
Yeah, you never.
Did I just inadvertently tie into one of our debatables?
You really did, which is like in a really soft lob way. You basically kind of pitched us the first one, which is great. You're right. We did sit outside today, and typically summers where we are in the Midwest. We lived in Chicago for a long time, and now we live in Seabus, Ohio, for the most part around our tour. But yeah, we live here, and it's real hot, and it's real cold. We get all the seasons, which is I love that. Anyway,
I would define Tara. I would define you as a sun baby, and I would define me as a cave baby.
Oh my gosh. Time out. First off, sun baby sounds so cute, and cave baby sounds so undernourished.
Yeah. That's okay, because I make my choice. My choice is to be the malnourished cave baby.
It's just very funny. Cave baby just really whips up an image of a baby that just has no vitamin D at all, and maybe the baby is like 70 by the time it's 2. It's a cave baby. It's a tiny, undernourished baby. No vitamin D, no sun, no nothing.
Interesting.
No melanin. It's just having a tough time.
You saying that the baby would be 70 by the time it's 2 ties back to another episode, which that would be the only time to define a baby as an old baby, I guess.
That's correct. Yeah, we did have the old baby debate, I think, in episode, what was that, 3 or 4, I think. Probably 3 or...
That was episode 2, Tara.
Gosh, okay. Old baby was in episode 2. So if you haven't heard our old baby debate, that's back in episode 2. But we got to move on to the debate. I can't believe that's what you left. You kind of that's what you led with today, because
That's insane. That's like, let's keep track of this and see how many times, like, I legitimately don't look at the questions, or I'll think too much about them. I like to hear them in the spur of the moment. I think Tara agrees that it's probably best, or I'll spend all day forming a thesis.
Yeah, you sure would. You sure would. So it's better to be off the cuff, I think, for both of us. I also don't try to think about the questions at all, and I try to pick them at random quickly so that I just jump into the conversation. Here's the first debatable, which may lead you straight from the conversation you were having.
Debatable number one.
From Wanda Keenan in Chiswick, United Kingdom.
Whoa!
International listeners. This is the coolest thing in the world. Thank you so much. Chiswick, UK. Wanda Keenan asks, and spells it with a U, which I also appreciate. What's your favorite weather?
Oh man, I think, did I double whammy? Is this
Yeah.
this one that it led into?
I think so.
My favorite weather is not everyone's favorite weather.
Here he goes.
I am a cave baby.
Cave baby.
Cave baby. And I love a good 70 degrees. I love a good partly cloudy. Like if I see a rainy day, I'm not distraught. I enjoy a good drizz.
Oh, you love a drizz. D-R-I-Z-Z.
Especially if it's like, if I'm not like a downpour, but a drizzle. If I'm like in the right coat or in the car, I don't mind a drizz. It feels like the earth is like power washing itself.
I don't know that a lot of people would say that's a horrible weather. I mean, like, obviously the classic answer here would be like, beach day, we're all partying in our swimsuits, having fun.
No.
I hate that. Although I do think, here's how I feel about the day you described. I think it sounds great if I'm in the right location. If I'm in like a coffee shop and I'm studying, or I'm like writing, listening to, some like folksy alternative, like, like folk punk.
Oh, folk punk.
Or even like coffee shop, like jazz, where they actually play the notes and you can tell what song it is. Things like that. If I'm listening to Sarah Bareilles in a coffee shop, just thinking about the range is, I think your day sounds great. I would even make it colder. Like, meaning like if it was like 50, I remember sitting in Chicago coffee shops, 40, 50 degrees, slight drizz, gray outside, so you don't want to leave the shop.
Yeah.
You're kind of cold unless you're inside, but you go outside for a little crisp burst every few. This is a good like fall energy to it that you described. But it's just not my ideal every day. That's a mood for me. It's like a mood that I want, but it's not my favorite.
Well, then what's your ideal every day?
I think it's close though. I think it might be what you described, maybe 10 degrees up. And it's like, I'd say it's sunny with clouds in the sky that are like Simpsons clouds.
Yes. Okay.
Like puffies.
Yeah.
I need some puffies. If I don't have those cotton puffies in the sky, what's this all been for? It has to either be like swirly great clouds or like good puffs, but not blocking a lot, just like nice puffs.
Oh, like those clouds where, like, if you're driving down a long stretch of road,
yes,
you can see the shadow moving across the road, but you're in sunlight.
Yes.
And as soon as you get in the shadow, you can see the sunlight ahead.
Yes. Like, if I don't have a road trip cloud where like I'd say you're driving down a great stretch of road, you're like you're just barreling through, visiting your friends from college to college, or you're like going to your buddy's house. You're 35 now, whatever. You're going to your buddy's house and you're like meeting their new baby, but you're just like on an open road. And it's like this fluffy clouds, just bam, 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 but it's sunny. It's not. I take the driving out of this equation actually, because the glare is hard with driving. But additionally, I'm saying it's like 75 to 80. You got puff clouds. You got tons of sun. Boom. You got great promise for a night that's going to be about 50 degrees, so you can wear a sweatshirt. That's important to me.
Yeah.
A hoodie.
I'd be curious in whatever form of commenting or emails that happen to hear what some other people's favorite weathers are. I know people that live in Minnesota who love Arizona weather because I think they're from Arizona, but they moved to Minnesota. It's like worst choice.
No, bad. I mean, I do. Something I appreciate about Arizona, like if you go to like Sedona or something, let's say somewhere cool and like hippie fun, I do like that it's dry. I like if you're gonna have like a heat that high, then the humidity of the Midwest is not what I would ever want.
No.
Um, I like a good East Coast fall day. Like
Yes.
give me a Boston day, in the fall. Hell yeah, give me those leaves. Let me leaf peep. I want to peep those leaves so hard. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, and that's why I always get sad when like we considered like moving to other places for our employment, like meaning like we do entertainment for a living. When people are like, "Hey,
Not
we
now.
you're
Not
in."
now though. This is not. It's not a
Oh,
show.
this isn't a show. This is this is a show. But when we go out to do like gigs, where it's like we have to shoot a commercial or we have to shoot a pilot or something like that. When we've had to do that stuff, and agents or managers are like, "Do you want to move to LA or do you want to move to, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something else that's like comparable to that." I always was like, I don't feel great there because the seasons don't. There's no seasons. I
Yeah.
like the temp often, but I don't really. I want to see leaves. I want to see snow. I actually like snow. I just don't want it every day.
There's like the impression in LA too that it's going to be 76 every day, and that just never changes. But then, like,
Yeah.
if you've ever been there in October, it's hell. You're like, it's October, it's fall, and that's like when summer hits there.
Yeah, I shot a commercial in LA around Christmas time, around the holidays, and it was like 80 to 90 degrees. And I know that that's not a mind fuck for everybody, but for me, I just couldn't get my brain around like warm Christmas. It was tripped me out so bad. So like that kind of thing I can't handle. So I would say, even though I like that temperature, I don't want it always. I love seasons. That wasn't the question. I'm just gabbing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
I
think we both answered though that it's like a nice
Yeah, man.
sunny early fall type
It's early fall.
with
Yeah.
some leaves to boot.
I'm talking like September to October.
Yeah.
Rance and I have been fortunate enough to travel around tour on this time a couple of years in a row where it's been like we're in the East Coast during October and it's like, oh, everything's so great. It's like just so beautiful and crisp and lovely. And where we live is also the same, like leaves, beautiful red and orange leaves, and like but still sunny. Like it's like sunny,
Yeah.
like hopeful, and it's still blue skied. It feels so good.
I think that variation of seasons is important. And
Yeah.
if you have that, then there's forgiveness. Like I worked on a cruise ship for a little bit, and it would port in New York and then go down to the Caribbean, depending on your potato or potato. And I remember we were we're always in the sun, always in the tropics, but then we go back to New York, and it
Yep.
was during winter. And I remember we'd get to be off the ship for like maybe 4 hours in New York to be safe. Of like, I go to New York, I get a little time to get maybe some groceries or something, and I come back before the ship leaves for the next batch of passengers. And I remember it would be winter and snowing, and it was the boat took off for everyone to take their vacations in the Caribbean, and there was a quarter inch of snow on the pool deck. And I remember it just being the coolest thing to be out on the deck of the pool, watching the New York skyline go by as we were leaving, and knowing that like in an hour this will all be gone because we're heading south and it'll start to warm up. So it's nice to have like this snow is awesome because I get to be in it, and B, it's not like I'm stuck here for 3 months.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love that. That's a cool way too to like get it all. You got seasons in a day.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope we answered that question, Wanda.
I think so, and
Yeah.
I think it was pretty easy, and I also think this is very subjective and depends on where you were raised, what your experiences have been. Some people are winter people, some people are summer people, some people love the spring and the flowers and the what have you.
Yeah, I like that it was like not much of a debatable. I think the only difference between ours, oddly, is that you like a little drizz and a gray,
Yeah,
but similar temp.
if I'm in direct sunlight, I'm rarely liking it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Rarely.
It's the vampire cave baby quality in you.
Cave baby.
Look at him atrophy. Okay, great. So that was number 1. Thank you, Wanda Keenan from Chiswick, UK.
Yes.
Okay, on to question number 2. From Jonathan Pitts in Chicago, Illinois.
Heard of him?
Heard of him? Hi, pal. The question is, ketchup or mustard?
Simply that?
Debatable. Yeah, he just wants us to go after one.
Well, there's some clear arguments one way or another for certain situations.
I've got my answer.
What's your answer?
Mustard.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Mustard.
Really?
High five.
High five. We're high fiving. I can't believe it was that easy. Next question.
Next question.
No, I mean, there's a lot of reasons I would choose ketchup on one or two things, but otherwise, I would take mustard on everything else. So I think it has to be mustard for me.
Ketchup for me is almost a strictly fry thing. Like it's either I'll put it on fries, I'll put it on hash browns, which are a bunch of tiny little fries in a pile.
Yeah.
I'll put it on like home fries, which has fries in the name.
Okay.
I'll also put ketchup on a cheeseburger, but not as much as I would put mustard on there. So
Okay,
a little bit.
So generally speaking, ketchup for you is exclusively almost a potato product, which I would also say is same for me.
Yeah.
If hey, you want to know a little ketchup hack? This is so gross.
Yeah.
If you're I don't have ketchup very much because I don't have fries very much these days. But if you're gonna go out and treat yourself and give yourself a little like Mickey Do's,
Mickey Do's,
Mickey D's fry or whatever people are into. I'm trying to think if that's even a fry I like. I know that Wendy's fries were great for a while, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So let's say you're going to go out and have like some fast food fries. You got to get a little tiny paper ramekin of ketchup.
Yeah.
Pump, and you're going to put salt into that ramekin. Okay.
Oh.
Because people that salt their fries over salt them. But if you salt your ketchup, you just have a dip.
That's genius.
Thank you. I used to do it a lot when I don't know when I was ever having this. I think I was on I know I did like a keto Atkins sort of thing. That doesn't make sense for fries. But there was a point where I was like using that dip a lot. Oh, I really don't know when this was. It might just be road trippy stuff. I toured for a long time with Second City. So it might have been like, we have fries. And then it was like, I'd always do that because in the car, you could just have one thing and not like spill everything the same way.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So this is probably just a regular eating time, but still.
I could have swore you were going to say mixing another condiment in. Like I like sometimes to mix the ketchup and mustard together for dipping fries into, or sometimes I've tried it before. It's not my favorite, but I didn't mind it. Ketchup and a little bit of mayo mixed together.
I was just going to ask, do you ever use mayo on anything? I don't really.
Barely. I think I've had it on sandwiches. Like if I go someplace to like a deli to get a sandwich and it comes on it.
Yeah, fine.
I'm like running 50-50 on saying no mayo.
Yeah, I get that.
Especially at a deli with one of those big fat knives where you can tell they're going to put like a 1/4 inch of mayonnaise on it. Then I'm like, don't put mayonnaise.
Too much. Come on, be rational.
Yeah, be rational.
Be rational. Take it down a notch. What are you doing?
Yeah.
That's part of it. Yeah, I don't use mayo on a lot of things. I've recently realized that mayo goes into like sauces and stuff. Like if you're making I've been cooking a lot. So if you're making like a homemade sauce, it can be a binder for a lot of sauces in like Asian glazed stuff. It's really cool, but it tastes good. It has like ginger and mayo and stuff in it. But I would have never known it was mayo had I not seen this recipe.
Hey Tara, spoiler alert, this just in. You're a great cook.
Oh, thanks. That's really sweet. I really enjoy it now. I don't think I would have said I enjoyed it prior to shelter in place, but now it's become a very zen thing for me to do during this time because it's like we have less. Typically, our work schedule is so heavy, about 60 to 70 hours per week, if not more, honestly. And at this point, now we have this kind of reduced schedule of because we can't tour or we like teach online a certain amount of hours a day, but everyone has this like burnout from Zoom and stuff, obviously. So now I just get to like cook or garden in the in-betweens and it's so fun.
Yeah.
I learned a ton. Thank you, Rance. That's very nice.
It's delicious.
Thanks. I take a lot of pride in things I would have not ever made had it not been for like just learning a little bit about it. That's sweet. I back to the question, the mustard thing, I think, is in a lot of the foods we make, especially like Rance puts a little bit of mustard on his breakfast sandwich.
Yeah.
If we make a homemade, I mean, often we'll eat like oatmeal or cereal or something, but if we're eating like a protein breakfast and we're having fun with it, and we make like I don't know, let's say like it's a English muffin egg sandwich, we'll put hot sauce on the eggs, we'll put a little bit of yellow mustard on the sandwich, and it kind of makes it like a little sharper. I don't know how to describe why that works, Rance, but
Yeah.
it does work.
It's delicious. I think like an almost, I don't know if I'd say more intriguing debatable would be yellow mustard or brown mustard.
Yeah, that's a great debatable because I think that I would have normally said brown. I love spicy mustard, but I don't love horseradish. And now I think I've come over to the rant side. Cave baby here loves.
Welcome to the cave.
Oh, he's withering up, everybody. Oh, someone call someone.
Hey, can I share? Do you mind if I share a recipe with our lovely listeners?
Sure.
If this is three things need to be met for you to enjoy this thing. One, if you enjoy yellow mustard, that's criteria number one. Two, do you enjoy peanut butter? That's criteria number three. Number three, do you enjoy bread?
Oh no.
If you do, if you enjoy those three things,
No.
if you put them together in a sandwich form,
Whoops.
a peanut butter and yellow mustard sandwich, I think you will find it enjoyable. I love peanut butter mustard sandwiches.
Oh, call the authorities.
Wait, you've tried one, right?
I've tried it. I'll be honest. I'm just going a little bit extreme for fun. But I'll tell you what. When Rance described this sandwich to me, I was like, "Are you okay? Do you need help? Signal if you need help."
Yeah.
Because he was eating. I don't think this is when we were a couple. He would just be like, "Yeah, I love peanut butter and mustard," and I was like, "What's happening? Do you need resources? Can I get you?
Do you need resources?
Can I help you with like just some education on how sandwiches are made? Anything at all?" But then later on, you like were like, "Hey, I'm gonna make one of these. I want you to just take one bite and just see that I'm not crazy."
Yes.
And I did, and it was okay. It wasn't like something I don't think I'd ever pick it, Rance, to be honest. But I do think it's better than I would have guessed for sure.
Yeah. It's worth a try. It's to the point where I had a class of improv students who I mentioned this to, and they didn't believe me. And one of the students brought in a loaf of bread, a thing of peanut butter, a thing of mustard, so they'd all try it, and they all enjoyed it.
I don't know why it works, but it definitely works. I mean, it's a weird compliment to each other. I don't really get why, but it's not bad. I guess it kind of makes it. I think it kind of makes it spicy peanut butter. It like almost like pulls something up that is not there.
Probably. It's as a kid I would make experiments in the kitchen, which basically just meant putting random crap in between bread, and that one worked. Guess what doesn't work? Peanut butter, honey, cheese, and mayo. Don't do it.
Oh my God, you poor thing. Why? Why were you doing this?
Because my friend and I would make these sandwiches as like experiments. I remember I took a bite and I threw it in the bushes. Like I remember being in the front yard eating the sandwich. I took a bite, I threw it in the bushes.
You can't just whip a sandwich in a bush if you don't like it. That's not how it goes.
My yard.
Was it?
Yeah, it was my front yard as a kid.
Your parents are gonna walk outside and be like, where'd this sandwich in the bush come from?
I mean, knowing how bad it tasted, yeah, there is a high probability it's still around today.
It's still there? Oh man, no, every bird came by and they're like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Squirrel just passed it up. God, that's bad. That sounds really bad.
That one was. But peanut mustard, I'd like, hey, give it a try and let us know how you like it.
I think it would also be remiss. We need to say that also our Chicago blood runs deep, and as you all know, there's a grand debate of ketchup or mustard on hot dogs in Chicago. There's no debate. I shouldn't say that, but if you're from Chicago, a lot of people are like, "Are you kidding me with this ketchup?" Like they don't want ketchup on their dog. So I also stand by that, and I do not want ketchup on a hot dog. I definitely want mustard on a hot dog. I probably want giardiniera. Maybe I might want like a sport pep. I might want cheese.
You're getting closer to describing a Chicago dog.
Yeah. You know what's, well, I don't like relish. Oh man, screw relish. I would if relish was a person, we'd be in a fist fight. I'd hate it so much. I hate it so much. I don't understand it. Although the weirdest thing is, if you haven't had a Chicago hot dog, my accent kind of came out then, didn't it?
Yeah.
Chicago hot dog. If you haven't had a Chicago hot dog, uh, I would recommend you try it once because I thought that the combination of it would be just the worst thing you've ever had in your entire life.
Oh, same. I'm a fairly I was a fairly picky eater. I've grown to enjoy combinations of ingredients for the combination having a flavor rather than being grossed out by the flavor of a certain one. And I tried a Chicago hot dog once, very, very nearly before I left. And I was surprised that I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we had I remember we had one together actually too, and we were both like, "Yeah, these are good." I don't know who put it together. It seems like someone was like, here's a Chicago hot dog as I remember it. And I'm going to try to really dig deep into my Chicago soul.
Yeah, do it.
It's a hot dog that's a classic like kosher dog, like or a classic like ballpark Frank
Yep.
with a poppy seed bun, mustard. It's like atomically green relish. It's not like normal relish. It's like
Yeah.
really, really bright green relish, a sport pepper, and
Mhm.
celery salt. I feel like I'm missing an ingredient.
Onion.
Onion, raw onion, which I don't like on anything. And on this dog, it's okay. It doesn't make sense. Sport peppers also are very tough to find sold
Yeah.
outside of Chicago limits, but they're called other things. But sport peppers are very Chicago-y. If you haven't tried this, celery salt makes no sense. It seems like some like Stan was in his kitchen and he was like, I got to get rid of a couple things.
Yeah, or like, my brother runs the celery salt factory, and he asked me
Yeah,
to do him a favor.
yeah. My brother was working down at Morton Salt, and they had a big oopsie daisy, and now they have all this celery salt. So I got to get rid of it. So I'm gonna push it at the old stand this week. See if anybody's a taker.
Maybe they are, maybe they aren't.
It's anybody's guess. Anybody's guess. But yeah, they are good. They are good. I don't know if I'd eat a hot dog over a regular dog. I mean, a Chicago dog over a regular dog every day. I wouldn't eat a hot dog every day.
No.
But I like it. I do like it. And I think it's like a fun shout out to how weird and wonderful Chicago can be with like, hey, we drink Malort and we're fine with it. I don't understand why.
I
Something
would definitely be more likely to have a hot dog with just mustard, and I never would have a hot dog with ketchup.
agreed. So mustard's the winner.
Yep.
Jonathan Pitts, ironically from Chicago, Illinois, mustard's the winner.
And that would lead me to believe that he was specifically asking about it for hot
I
dog.
know he didn't say that, but we can infer that maybe hot dog is the reason he's asking us why, and definitely mustard on a hot dog, if not across the board for most things. Ketchup is too sugary. Mustard is fun.
Good, debatable.
Good debatable, friends.
Our third and final debatable number 3.
Woo!
I knew you were gonna do it.
You did?
Yeah.
Been watching a lot of fun things. Okay, great. So here's the third, submitted by Ella Pilardi of Columbus, Ohio. Now, everyone here calls it C-Bus, just in case anyone outside of that is like, why do you keep calling it that? It's because we hate the name Columbus and always have. So usually locals here say C-Bus
A
because
little less genocide-y.
yeah, it's just a little less genocide-y. And as long as I can remember, my friends have called it that as well. So embrace it till we maybe have a new name, C-Bus. The question is, as landlords, would you pick Mr. Roper or Mr. Furley? So the Ropers or Mr. Furley as a landlord.
Okay, so for all of our young viewers out there, this is
That's why I kept it for episode 5 because I thought, well, not everyone's going to know what this reference is, but it's worth a watch. If you're young, if you're like very, very young and listening to this, A, welcome. And B, we won't always alienate you this way. But C, I think it's like it's in the zeitgeist enough, this show, that it's like it's bizarre and it's now so outdated. I would be surprised if it's running anywhere in syndication because it's like it's everything wrong with the 70s and 80s in one show, but it's also very silly and very fun and lots of great like pratfally kind of silly business mix-ups
Yeah.
and stuff like that. We're gonna tell them about the show.
Well, the show is one male and two females living in an apartment together.
It's called Three's Company.
It's called Three's Company. It's called Three's Company.
We'll start there.
And back in this era, like, I don't know if we should have a man living with two women. So the male is under the guise of being gay for the sake of the landlord. Like the landlord doesn't want to let this man live with two women in an apartment, but they say he's gay. So the landlord's like, okay, that'll probably be okay for whatever reason.
Isn't that insane that was like, I mean, we've lived through a lot of wonderful transitions to, let's call it evolution.
Yeah.
You don't notice them as they're happening because it feels too slow. But then when you look back, you're like, wait, Three's Company was on not that long ago. And you really think about the concept of it or the conceit of it. And it's wild to think about like, okay, so this man, Jack Tripper is his name. Jack Tripper has to live with two female roommates. They live in California. It's very sunny. It's very hip. The two roommates are, they vary. One is always Janet, but then there's always a rotational blonde that also lives there. That is truly like, as I would say that generally it is like a blonde. That's like who goes in the place. Because we had Chrissy. We had, oh my gosh, I just forgot, Terry. We had, I feel like there was a missing one. Anyway, let's say Chrissy and Terry are the mains. And they live with Janet and Jack Tripper. Jack has to pretend he's gay whenever the landlord comes over.
Yep.
And I wouldn't say it's like gay, like I want to be. I'm a queer human, so I'm saying this aloud too to make sure it's not as bad as it sounds. I suppose.
Yeah, it's not like he's stereotypically portraying someone gay. It's like if he has a girlfriend over and the landlord comes over,
Yes.
and gets caught with a girl, then it's going to be suspect.
Yes, and Jack Tripper himself is like a playboy, so he always has a new woman over, and he's like, "Ooh." Like it's more like hijinks. Although I have not watched it, I don't think as an adult, so it could be way worse than I remember. But I think it's mostly just like mix-ups. The craziness comes in when the landlords are there because they're always like, "What's the deal with your roommate?" And they're like more homophobic than anybody on the show.
Yeah, so there's the Ropers, which is Mr. and Mrs. Roper. And then there's Mr.
Ralph Furley,
who's Don Knotts.
Yeah, Don Knotts.
And I'd say that Mr. Roper is more of a gruff, kind of no nonsense landlord, and I think Mr. Furley is more of like a bumbling, like kind of landlord.
So is that true? Because here's my memory of it. And I watched a lot of Three's Company as a very young child, which is already an issue. Because it's like all about him trying to get laid, basically. But it was on a lot as a child. It was in syndication, I think, already. I don't think it was even airing, but I was seeing it as a kid a lot. Probably same for you, Rance. But anyway, Ralph Furley is like he's, Don Knotts, if you're familiar, who is, often hilarious and like pulls a lot of faces and things like that. He'd always be like, well, Jack, I don't know what you're, oh, well, here we go again. Like he was a little bit, I turned him into Paul Lynde, but he was always kind of like, he was more on to Jack than the Ropers were.
Yeah, and I feel like also he was around more.
I agree. I think because he was a star already. So I believe the Ropers were first. The Ropers were a couple. They were kind of like Mrs. Roper was sort of swingery. Like she was always kind of like, what are you guys up to? And like wearing like long caftans and just like sniffing around. And Mr. Roper was like, he may have been stern, but he was like more silent. So he was always kind of like, what's going on in here? But he was just like skeptical. Furley was up in Jack's business. I could only assume because Don Knotts was on Andy Griffith's show, so he was already famous. So they're probably trying to put him in more episodes. The Ropers also
and this is also like I think well past like Apple Dumpling Gang and all of his other like.
Whoa, what?
Again, look it up. Apple Dumpling Gang?
Is that Spanky? No, that's not them.
Here's a spoiler alert. It's on Disney Plus if you have access to it, and Terry's going to get a little taste today. Apple Dumpling. Let's save it. Apple Dumpling Gang for later. It's like just separate. But it seemed like he was rounding the horn on his stardom, and was kind of like it was. it was like the Ropers got their own show, so they needed a new landlord, and they brought in a ringer.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because the conceit of the show was that Jack had to try to get, like, there was always pressure of like, we're gonna make Jack move out, and then they'd be screwed.
Yeah.
So who cares, right? Like in real life, if your roommate had to move out, you'd be like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm wondering why this was so why were they so worried about it? I can't remember if there was a reason they were so worried. Anyway,
So the show could have more episodes.
yeah, I think that's the worry. Jack was a very successful chef at Jack's Bistro.
Yeah.
They lived above the Regal Beagle, which was a bar, etc. I'm just giving a lot of context here from what I remember. He had a best friend named Larry, who was definitely a sexual predator. We'll talk more about that if we have to. But yeah, so I mean, what is my vote here? I'll say this.
Okay.
My vote might be, I think with the Ropers, you stand a chance of existing longer in your apartment because they're not going to throw you out. Don Knotts is definitely going to throw you out.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I was just about to say that's a lot of backstory for me to simply say Ropers, because and here's why, slightly different than yours, but I say Ropers because when they had a problem and they called, the Ropers would show up. And if they didn't have problems, the Ropers tended to be minding their own business. And I like a landlord who leaves me alone, but fixes the stuff they're supposed to fix in an easily accessible way. Whereas I feel like the Don Knotts, Mr. Furley type is the type who would be like, knock, knock, when you're like, I want to just live in my abode. Can you please stop coming by? So it feels like I'd be intruded on more by the Furleys.
You mean Ralph Furley?
Yes, I mean like the Furleys of the world.
Got it.
I'd be intruded on more by Furley, and I would imagine too, like stopped more like on my way out if I cross paths and be like, hey, what's going on in the like chit chat, which isn't my favorite. So I would like Roper seems like he'd be no nonsense. If I didn't talk to him, he wouldn't talk to me, and we'd just cross paths. But if I'm like, my toilet's broken, he'd be like, I'll fix it.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's just like a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
And I also think that maybe Mr. Roper doesn't run the ship. I think it's Mrs. Roper. Like, I think she's better. I can't remember her name. His name is Stan. Yeah, Stan Roper is definitely his name. I don't know why I remember that. That's weird that I said Stan earlier without looking at the third question as a character for fake.
You're very psychic today, Tara.
Oh, I think her name might be something that's like kind of old schooly, like a cool name. I'm looking it up right now so I can see what it is. I want everyone to know that once I looked up oh, maybe it's not. I looked up Mrs. Roper, and the first thing that came up was Mrs. Roper's Caftan, which makes me feel great. So it is her. The actress's name was Audrey Marie Lindley, and she played Helen Roper. Helen Roper, and I think I'm almost positive it's Stan. Let me make sure I'm not wrong about that. I can hear. You know why I can hear it? Is I can hear her saying his name. I can hear her going, Stan, like yelling at him if he's yelling at Jack. So I don't know why he probably just didn't say Helen a lot. That's probably why I don't know it. But anyway, I think she would be like, she's all for Jack living there. I also think that Helen Roper is basically polyamorous or a swinger. And I think she's just kind of like, let people be, like, let them be what they are. And Stan's just a stick in the mud.
Yeah.
And Ralph Furley is ready to rumble.
Ralph Furley's also like stuck in disco a little bit. Like he always had the ascot.
Yes, he had
thing.
leisure suits.
Yeah.
Sort of energy. Yeah. He was just I think he was also trying to be hip, like you're saying, like he was trying to be like still like a playboy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't working. So he kind of like leaned too heavy on that a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like for what the show is, they were fun little dumb accents to the show. It wasn't always about them, but they were heavily on the show for sure.
Enough to be like recognizable.
Yeah. Here's what I remember about Three's Company. This is important. I remember that Jack is a chef. I remember that Janet, I think, oh, no, she's not. Terry was a nurse. I remember that at all times, Jack Tripper will fall over a couch.
Always over a couch.
He falls over that couch
So many times.
Now that I'm saying he falls over a couch so many times, I can't believe that A, I didn't realize his name was Tripper, and B, that every
Yeah.
isn't
Oh,
that
yeah.
wild? And every episode, I mean, he falls over the couch so much that it's like a thing I remember from the show, and it couldn't have just been once. I think he did it a lot. How do you fall over your couch?
Because you're trying to get out of a place too fast, and you turn, you forget that you're right by the couch.
Do you do that?
Yeah, all the time, every day,
Never.
Going over that couch.
You never. I gotta give I gotta give a shout out to John Ritter for just tripping over a couch more times than
Yeah.
That's the actor that played Jack Tripper. I don't know how he did it and didn't become addicted to painkillers. I hope he didn't, but it's so many times. It's just so many falls.
The nice thing about a couch, though, is like on a set, there's a cushion on the other side of it. Like, there's a
just a gymnastics set. Yeah, it had to be.
We're going to have to do two things, and I invite you, the listener, to do it with us. Get it. We're going to go on Disney Plus, and I'm going to learn Tara about the Apple Dumpling Gang.
No.
And also, I'm going to check YouTube for a supercut of Jack Tripper falling over a couch, because I bet someone's made it. And if not, I'm going to make one.
There's got to be a supercut. Maybe that'll be our bonus material. Well, if not, we'll make bonus material for this episode. Since we might have Patreons as well, that like you got to get a little bang for your buck and some stupid stuff, right? This is the thing. It's a supercut, 10 hours of Jack Tripper falling down by a couch.
I love a good 10-hour YouTube video.
I guess you're not alone, but I don't get it. But I love them.
Tara.
Yeah.
These were some fantastic debatables today.
I had so much fun with these debatables. Thank you, friends. Thank you, all three of our submissions today. I wanted to give them another shout out, and I don't know. It was Wanda Keenan from Chiswick, UK, Jonathan Pitts from Chicago, Illinois, or nearby. I'm not sure if he's in the city proper these days, but Jonathan Pitts in Chicago, Illinois, and Ella Pilardi from Columbus, Ohio, C-Bus. Thank you so much for submitting your debatable. We had a ball. If you want to submit a debatable, please check out our email address and send us a question. We'd love to parse through it. We just love it.
We do love to parse.
We love to parse, and I hope this gave you a little fun. Also, if you want to write us and tell us how what we didn't address that you'd like to step into with us, we'd love to hear it too. On one of the future episodes, we're going to be going through the old mailbag. So if we get submissions from all of you out there about things that we may have missed, we will reflect upon them and see what we come up with together. We often have live episodes too, as you may know, and live right now is an unusual thing because live just means we're taking streamers as we record. This is a canned episode, but in the live streams, you can often weigh in real time. But this is not one of those, so send us your mail.
Yeah, go if you want to, go to twitch.tv/thenesttheater, THEATRE, and follow us there. You'll get notified when we go live. That's where we typically have our podcast, as well as Facebook, The Nest Theater, as well.
You got it. Otherwise, thanks for subscribing and coming on by. We love you, and we'll see you next time. But just remember, it's not a show.
It's not a show. Bye.
Bye.